Hi there, I'm back to share a project with you. This is the new swap box that has been coming up. And you can purchase the templates through, I believe her name is Lori Witchlock. And I'll put her name and everything in the description box and where you can go to maybe check out that and purchase the template. You can get it to where you can cut it out by hand, but then you can also purchase it if you have like a Cricut or a die cut machine or whatever to cut it out. But I didn't want to pay for the template, so I just kind of came up with my own measurements, and I want to share with you how I did it without purchasing the actual template. So this is the box. This is what it looks like. Two small pockets here, a larger pocket, and then it has the smaller tall pocket on the back. So it is exactly the same look, and I just don't know if the measurements are going to be the same as she had. So this is what I came up with. For your lid and everything, I already have everything pre-cut and ready to go, so I can show it to you really quick. Okay, so first of all, we have these are going to be for the outside after it's completed, which would be the two sides, the front and the back. Okay, so those will be the last pieces. I have the two pockets for the front that are already scored, and I will show you how to cut those out. Then we have the lid, and then the two side pieces for the lid. This is the back pocket, and then this is the middle pocket. So first of all, we'll do the back pocket, and the measurements for the back pocket, which I'm calling this box 1 because it's going to be on the far back, and it's going to be 7.5 by 11, and you want to score it at 3/8 of an inch, and then you're going to score this at 7/8 of an inch on this will be the 7 side. So when you put it on your scoreboard, it'll be like this. You score it at 3/8 of an inch and 7/8 of an inch. Flip it this way and then score it again at 3/8 of an inch and 7/8 of an inch. Okay, then you're going to flip it this way in your scoreboard, and you're going to score it at 5.5 and 6. Okay, then you're going to cut this out. And it doesn't matter which end you start from, because this is the same as this side over here. So we're going to cut on the 7/8 of an inch score line, and we're going to cut it all the way up to the second score line. As you can see there, the second one here. And you're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, then you're going to cut it off at the first score line there. You can see that, just sliced it off right there. So it's still open here, okay? So you're just going to cut that off. And then you're going to cut this piece on this little flap, and you're going to cut it at an angle so you get that little bit of a gap there in between the two. And you're going to do that on this side too. So you're just going to cut this at an angle. And see, you can see that. That's how you're going to do that. And you're going to cut the corner off, and then you're going to angle it like that. So you have this little tiny tab here, and then it goes off to an angle. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing on this side. Cut it at an angle, and you can cut that a little more if you, just like that. So that's the way that's going to look. And then you're going to cut these corners up here at an angle. Okay, so that's what that's going to look like before you fold it or anything like that, okay? So then you're going to fold on all your score lines. I should have folded them this way. They fold better that way. Plus I think I will put it flat. Okay. So I just like this side better. Okay, then you're going to glue this down. You can glue the tabs down to this here first. You can do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to glue right up these sides for now. And I'm just going to use some Fabri-Tac. And it's easier if you have a little bit of a liquid glue versus the double-sided tape, because it'll give you a little bit of time for moving it around to excuse me, to make it square, okay, or a box or right at the edge or whatever. So it's just easier if you use liquid adhesive. So there you have your box, and I call this box 1, and it is I'm going to say a 1/2 inch wide, I think. Let's see. Yeah, so that's a 1/2 inch wide here. So there's your first one. Then your second one is going to be this one here. This is the larger piece. And it is 8.5 by 10.5. You score this at 3/8 of an inch and 1 3/8 of an inch, okay? And then you flip it this way and then do the same thing, 3/8 of an inch and 1 3/8 of an inch, okay? Then you flip it this way in your scoreboard, and you're going to score it at 4.5 and 5. As you can see, this is the shorter side, and this is the longer side. This is actually going to be cut at an angle, so I marked my spot where I want to cut, and it's going to be, I think, an inch. I just put a little score mark there, and then a little score mark down here at an inch, because that's just going to help me for my cutting, okay? So you're going to do the same thing on this one for cutting as you did this one, but you want to make sure you're cutting on the shorter side and leaving the long side at the top, okay? So you're going to cut on the score line all the way up to the second score mark. And then you're going to cut this side off completely and then angle it up like that. And then you're going to do the slight cut there. So it's going to be exactly the same as the one that you did prior, okay? And do that on this side too. Okay, so then you have that look like that, and then you're going to cut this as you can, like right here where you see that it's at an angle, okay? This is what we're going to cut right here, so it'll have that angled look there, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, where my score line, my little score line, let's see if I can get you to see that. If you can see that little score mark right there, I'm going to cut right at an angle there. And then I'm going to take that and I'm just going to go all the way up to the end of the paper there. Just like that. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And try and match it up as much as possible. And then I'm just going to come here at the top. And I'm going to go down to that. So I didn't cut that one quite the same, but that's not going to matter as long as this here is somewhat the same, okay? Because this is going to be, you're going to fold this here anyways and use this as your glue mark. So then once you cut that, this is what it'll look like. Now we're going to fold on our score lines and make our box. So you fold up on your score marks. And you're going to do the same thing with the gluing. Now you can glue this down to this, and I would, but I'm just for time's sake, I'm not going to worry about gluing that one right now. But on this one, I did do that. So I put a little glue here, and then held it and glued it there. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here and here for now. Okay. And you just want to make sure that it's lined up. It's lined up there. Do that on this side too. Like that. So there you have box 2, and it is an inch wide, okay, right here. This is 1 inch. So then you have your 1/2 inch, which is box 1, and your 1 inch, which is box 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue these two together. So you just put some glue on the back. Okay. And then you're just going to attach box 1 and box 2 together like so. And they should line up perfectly, okay? Just like that. there you have that. And now we're going to do the front two little pockets, which you're going to cut these out exactly the same. It's just smaller versions. And you're going to cut them with the angles in them too. So the measurements for these two pieces are 5 1/16 by 7.5. Okay. And you're going to score them at 3/8 of an inch and 1 1/8 of an inch, okay, on the 5 1/16 inch side, okay, so this is the 5 side. Then you're going to put it in your scoreboard, so the 7.5 is here, and you're going to score at 4 4 3/4, okay? And you can see this is the longer side and this is the shorter side. When you cut, you're going to make sure you're cutting on the shorter side, okay? And you're going to cut the same way as we just did the other box. And then, so I have marked mine at 1 1/8 of an inch. Can you see that? Okay. So you're going to cut at an angle and then cut all the way up. And then you're going to do the same thing on this end here. No, I always have a hard time cutting the second side. I mean, not that it's going to matter, but... And then you're going to go up to the second score line and cut everything the same. Okay, like that. Now we're going to do it on this side. When you cut your angle pieces, I guess you wouldn't, this is not a flap, so you just want to make sure you do it on the flap. Okay, so there's that one. And we'll cut this one here. Another way you could do it is cut that side, flip it over if you wanted it to match exactly, and then you just cut that way so it's exactly the same on either side. Totally up to you. So up to the second score line, up to the second score line, so there you have that one. So those two are done. Okay, now you're just going to fold and glue the same way. So you fold on all your score lines. And then you're just going to glue the two little flaps there. Like that. Oops, sorry. Like that. And then like that. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing with this one. Fold on your score lines. And then I'll show you on this one what I mean about gluing these tabs down if you want to glue them down. Just glue them down like that. And then you're going to want to hold them for a second. And all that does is prevent you from having that hole down. Sometimes you can get a gap down in here. These didn't really do that, but and then you just want to glue your flaps down, okay, to make your box. Okay, this one here didn't really cut very good, so I'm just going to cut this little bit off. I don't know why it did that. The other one did do that. So if you have that problem, you just snip it off. Okay, so then I have my two pockets, my two mini pockets. We're going to then glue these on top of here. So you just glue and then glue the side here. And line it up. And then glue the back of this one. So then you got box 3 and box 4. Okay, perfect. Okay, so there you have it. You have your box perfectly all measured up, lined up perfect. Now you have your lid. So this is your lid, and it is going to be 9.5 by 6 3/8 of an inch. And what I did is I scored it at my 3/8 of an inch on either side here. So I just put it in 3/8 of an inch, flipped it around this way, scored it again. Then I turn it this way in my scoreboard, and I score it at 3.5, and then I just flipped it right back over to the other side and scored again at 3.5. That way I knew that these two were going to be exactly the same, and then I think this is like 2.5 in between. So then once you get that scored, you're going to want to cut. I'll lose all my pieces here, my scraps. Okay, so then you're going to cut all your corners. So you're going to cut here, and you're going to cut this corner. You're going to cut this corner and this corner, and then here on your two score marks, you're going to cut a V out on either side of those score lines, okay? On both sides. Okay, like that. So that's how that's going to look then, once you have it all done. Then you're going to fold on your score lines. And then for the side pieces that you're going to need, which are going to be these two right here, they're going to be 2.5 by 3.5 inches. Okay. So once you get all those folded, you fold in, and you fold in on this side, and then you're going to glue your side pieces on here, okay? So making a mess. Okay, so then you just glue your side pieces on. And you want to make sure that you're flush with the piece of paper that you're putting on the end in your box, okay? And you can just do like that and then press them down. That'll help. You need to move it. So there you have it. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing on this side. Like that. Okay, then you can flip it over and do the same thing. Just want to push your piece down there and then just check to make sure that it's all flush right here, like nice and straight. So there you have your lid. So your box is pretty much done, other than putting your pieces on here, and I will show you how to do that. So then the lid fits right on there like that. Perfect. Okay, so now for the piece to cover this, so you don't see this line, and then the piece to cover here so you don't see those lines, and then same with the bottom, okay? So I already have mine cut out. Now I made a template of these, and I'll give you the measurements, and then you can make a template. That way you could just trace and cut. So the actual size is 5.5 by 2 3/8 of an inch, which it'll fit right on there, like that. And then I just put my ruler in here, and this is 2 3/8 of an inch. And then this over here, if you go this way, is 5/8 of an inch. And then you just draw a line and cut so that you get that straight line, okay? So you can make your own template, or you can cut them out each time. So it's 5.5 by 2 3/8 of an inch. And then you go from 5/8 of an inch. And then on this side, you mark it at 2 3/4 of an inch, and then you just draw the line, okay? And then cut it off. So that's what I have here. So I'm going to glue these onto my side. And I'm just going to call these the side pieces, because I'll put all my measurements in my description box for you. So you can just reference through there instead of watching the whole video over again. So there you have that. And we're going to do same thing on the other side. Okay. And then your front piece for the front of the box is going to be 5 5/8 of an inch by 2 3/4 of an inch, okay? That's this one here, and it lays right on the front there, okay? So this is the front piece. Okay, just like that. So now you don't have any lines there. Nice. And then the bottom, your measurements are 2 1/4 by 5 3/4. Okay. And it fits right on the bottom. Now you can mat this with whatever pattern paper you wanted afterwards. I'm not gonna mat it right now because I think I'm gonna use it for Halloween, and I don't have any Halloween paper right now. So if they do a Halloween swap with one, then that's probably what I use it for. So there you have it. You have your bottom part and your lid, and then you can just decorate this by putting your pattern paper on it and your embellishments, and then you just fill it with all your goodies. So there you have it. I will put all the measurements in the description box. If you want to just go down there and look it up, look for all the measurements, they'll be down there. So, and I will also put the link or the name, Lori's name down in the description box too, where you can go and where you can just purchase the template from her. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.